1, 2, 3.
Hello and welcome to the Dojo podcast, episode 1, our inaugural episode. My name is Kyle.
My name is Logan.
And I'm Thomas.
So we decided to do a podcast as roommates because we thought we have such great ideas that are so original and we're so fun and everyone will want to watch and listen to us on a weekly basis, which is great.
Absolutely.
So I guess we could get started. We kind of want to do a sort of form. We want to just kind of talk about what, just kind of shoot this shit. We don't really have a theme like, oh, we're going to talk about cooking every week. That we could talk about cooking at some point, and we might talk about cooking.
I'd say it's kind of just like stuff that we would talk about around the house, like if we were just chilling.
Right.
So, it's pretty.
So
cash.
if you're watching this podcast and you're already friends with us, you're just gonna get more. You're just gonna get more of what you already come to expect from our brand.
More garbage.
More garbage. We definitely want to talk about sports at least a little bit every week. Other than that, though, pretty much we'll just talk about whatever kind of interests us or whatever we see during the week, and we go, that's podcast material right there.
Sure. So speaking of sports, the big sports news this week was the Bryce Harper deal. I believe he signed with the Phillies.
Yeah.
So it's $330 million, I believe, 10-year deal. This is coming right off the Manny Machado deal where he signed with the Padres for $300 million 10 years. So some big contracts.
That's a lot of money.
I think that's some of the biggest contracts we've seen since Alex Rodriguez when he signed with the Yankees. So
is it the biggest contract ever in sports? I mean, I don't really know.
I think so because the MLB is in that area where I don't think they have a salary cap. Yeah. So whereas you see like the NBA, they're pretty strict with it. Like
the NBA has a salary cap, but there's like luxury tax, so they can still throw fuck you money if you have enough money. Whereas like the NFL, it's like a hard cap. So I think the biggest deal so far was I don't know, but some quarterback got like $150 million for like 6 years or something. This obviously blows it out of the water. So you look at a guy like Kyler Murray, and he's going to the NFL, which I totally respect. If you like football more than baseball, that's great. But if it were me and I thought I had potential to be good at both, I'm choosing baseball.
Yeah.
Although you do have to play a shit ton of games.
Yeah, but
162 games in a regular season.
Do you think it's still viable to do the Bo Jackson thing and play both? No.
You could maybe play like I don't really know what you could play both, but because the seasons kind of go at the same time. Because you're a postseason MLB. That's like right as the NFL season starts, and the NFL teams would expect you to give it 100% during the season.
So, do you think Kyler Murray is making a bad choice then? Because you said you choose MLB. I mean, You play more games, but I mean, there's been a lot of discussions about like CTE and like just like shorter career.
Yeah.
Bigger.
There's the flip side. So I think MLB, obviously, I think the cap for more money is there. You could make more money. But in the NFL, if he gets taken the first round, which he looks like he might, the first deal is going to be more lucrative for him. Over the course of his career, he might not play as long, make as much money. That's the trade-off. Do you think that you can be more successful in the NFL? Obviously, the NFL is a bigger league. Like, more people watch and follow it, at least in the U.S. It's more profitable, so, like, your brand would be out there more. Like, more people know Tom Brady than know Bryce Harper. That's just a fact. So, depends on what you value. Obviously, he prefers to play football, which is totally legit, so...
What do you think, Kyle? If you were put in that situation, are you thinking MLB? Or are you thinking NFL?
Yeah, I'm probably playing baseball just because, wear and tear on your body. Yeah, there's 162 games, but it's not a contact sport. You're just, depends on the position you're playing. I think pitchers are probably the most prone to injury. But outside
Tommy John and all that.
Tommy John, there's a lot of arm issues, shoulder issues, that kind of thing. But if you're just like 10 years in the league, just playing 120 games a season, you're probably going to be fine. You're not going to get injured. You're not going to get CTE, all that kind of thing. So
yeah, they're very true.
Yeah,
very true.
So what about if we add NBA to this mix? Does that change things at all? Let's say you're just such a gifted athlete, or let's just say like we discontinue one or the other, and you could go to the NBA.
So here's my thing about the NBA. It's like it's obviously not as popular as the NFL, but I do think it is growing. Although I saw today that like viewership is way down among 18 to 34, but that's viewership is down in pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the NBA, they do a way better job of marketing their players.
That's what I was gonna say. Like cultural significance wise, being a professional basketball player is arguably a bigger deal than being a
Right. Like as a sport, the NFL obviously is king. It's like way up here. All the other sports kind of compete for second place. But, you know, the average person on the street can probably name, you know, 6 or 7 NBA players. Average person, they can probably name like 3 NFLers, and it's probably Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and like, you know, Drew Brees or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's just because like guys like LeBron have paved the way, and he has like his own HBO show. He's trying to do things in Hollywood, Space Jam 2.
Space Jam 2.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's just because of these polarizing athletes that are like bigger than life, and they're trying to branch out, do other things. So and you've seen somebody like Luka Doncic and like these European players come in, and they're like such a big commodity back home that I think it's really good for the league. So.
He like with the All-Star game was getting so many of these votes. He's like apparently like everyone in Europe's like that guy, you know. He got so many votes. He got I think second to LeBron, which is unbelievable. He's a rookie and he's very good. But he's not the second best player as theoretically the votes should say, but fans are for the most part dumb, so they vote for people like Lonzo over Damian Lillard, which is unbelievable.
I mean that's a conversation for another day.
It's a conversation for another day,
but I mean
there is no argument. Anyway, I saw today that Bryce Harper DM'd Le'Veon Bell and was like, "Hey, bro, come to Philly. Come to the greatest city on earth." And it's like, haven't you been signed to them for like a day now? You're willing to declare them greatest city on earth or greatest city something or other. And I just think it's interesting that, you know, cross sport, he's like, just come to Philly, you know, let's get this thing going. Philly's great. The fans deserve it. So he's already recruiting hard for the city that he's been associated with for about 30 hours.
Yeah, I mean, Philly's been making moves. I'm going to be honest. I mean, the 76ers, they got a pretty good basketball core in Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons not as good as Damian Lillard, though. Personal opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, they're building a good core there. They got Tobias Harris. They have Jimmy Buckets. So, I mean... Huh?
Embiid. Did you already say that?
Yeah, I said Embiid.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Buckets. So I mean, they're building a good.
Said twice.
They're building a good basketball core there, and their baseball team hasn't been great. But with the addition of Harper, I feel like they could make a good playoff push. Not a good playoff push, but I mean, they're not a contender yet. But if they add the pieces, it could be good.
I mean, it's the East, and it's the current NBA, so it's like going to be like probably pretty competitive between, you know, Boston, Philly, Toronto, Milwaukee. The Pacers are up there. I don't think they really have the kind of firepower to compete with those yet, although in the standings they're up there. But when push comes to shove, we know who's going to win in 4 games in the NBA Finals, and it rhymes with the Schmolden State Warriors.
They will not be mentioned on this podcast. I don't want to give them the satisfaction of being mentioned on.
KD's a snake. So,
speaking of KD, would you be able to beat him in a fight?
Me?
Yeah.
In
our next segment, who would win in a fight?
Oh, that's a great transition, Kyle. When we eventually get ad reads, you're gonna be in charge of working the ad reads in organically into the conversation, because that was flawless.
That was
10 out of 10.
I saw that.
10 out of 10. So Thomas has come up with this idea. We're gonna talk about different celebrities.
So I mean, celebrities. Famous
Some of these
people.
are more like business moguls.
Yeah.
And who would win in a fight?
I was sitting in class and I was just kind of like thinking, and I was like,
what can we talk about?
What can we talk about? And I was like, you know what people like? Other people fighting.
Other people fighting. So he found these, and I think it's great. It's sort of like themed. We found 3 different pairs. He's found 3 different pairs again, and they're sort of similar in ways. Why don't we put this first one last?
I agree.
Yeah, let's put this first one last, because I think it's the best pair.
We mentioned business moguls, so let's start with two very prominent ones in modern times. We got Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos.
I put my drinks right here so I could refill it nice and easily.
Okay, so I want to hear your take on this, because Logan and I were talking a little about this earlier, but we're saving it for now. So if you want to pull up measurements or anything, you can go ahead, but let's go the raw opinion first.
I think Bezos got this easy.
Yes.
You think?
All right.
You think Bezos would clap Elon?
Absolutely,
Like that?
because first of all,
He's fucking huge.
Bezos can pull Elon's hair. Elon won't be able to pull Bezos's hair. Man's bald. Second of all,
Okay.
Oh wait.
have you seen that like one picture of Bezos and the broad that he's supposedly like sleeping with? Have you seen his calves? Oh boy.
You know I'm a big calf man.
Big calf man. So he could kick Elon Musk.
I might have to throw that up
So-
in the edit. The
yeah,
photo
let's
up.
do it.
Another reason that I think Jeff Bezos is going to win is there's another photo that I showed Thomas about 30 minutes ago. He had never seen. He's pretty built. He's
pretty
got some
cut.
big fucking arms.
Okay, I'll
and-
give this to Jeff Bezos. He's a big dude. Like this, I was not expecting because I've seen pictures of him in suits. He's a very slender guy. I mean, he looks good in a suit. He has the build for a suit. But there was a picture of him in a short sleeve tee.
Okay.
Dude is jacked.
Sick.
Dude has arms.
Yeah.
Dude has arms.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have arms.
I mean,
So is that really a pro?
but I mean, he's definitely like pretty defined. So that's what caught me off guard. But I'm still going with Elon.
So why are you going Elon?
What do we
I'm
know
going
about
Elon.
Elon's workout routine, though? We're talking about Bezos' workout routine. I feel
Tweeting
like
weird shit is not a workout.
that's what I'm going to
routine.
say. His thumbs are
but-
up there, but he always looks like he's sleep deprived. So I feel like he's just working with his multiple companies all the time, and he's not actually hitting the gym. Whereas Bezos has,
Okay, but
Right.
Elon has like the pudginess factor. He's got a little bit more. He's got a little more cushion to absorb
For the pushing.
blows. For the pushing from Jeff.
grind.
Jeff's giving him the blows, and he's just
giving him the
taking
blows
it.
and he's cushion
taking
pushing.
it. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
taking it. He's a little more soft, but I feel
Okay.
like because he has that, he probably has a little bit more of a weight advantage. I don't know their respective heights. They seem like they're pretty close in height, but age, Elon has age, so he's a little bit
Right,
younger.
Bezos is kind of an old fart. So
Yeah, so I feel like he would have the advantage there, and I feel like just more stamina and
he started like Amazon during the Cold War or some shit. It's like an ancient company that apparently has become massive in the
Yeah.
last 10 years.
Yeah, but I just think I don't know. I feel like he might have like a reach on him or anything. I don't know. I just
Well,
feel
let's
like
just
he
let's
has
just
the
put
advantage.
it to a vote. I feel like we've deliberated a fair amount. Let's put it to a vote. All in favor of Elon Musk? Okay. All in favor of who's the other one? Bezos. Okay. So we think Bezos, on average, by vote. Obviously, we haven't seen this, but if you guys are watching this podcast, these two absurdly rich men. If you're watching this podcast at home or listening,
Please
because
hire me.
please hire Kyle. We're hoping to make this an audio podcast and a video podcast. If you're listening or watching, hire this man, duke it out. We could maybe get a real HBO prize fight thing going on.
Yeah, we want to see a fight. Like, I mean, we saw the garbage fight that was like Logan Paul and like KSI. We don't want to see that shit. We
I
want to
didn't
see.
see that because I'm not lame.
Oh, I didn't actually watch it, but I saw it was online. So
All right, speaking of people who actually have beef, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Now, I remember some stories coming out a couple of months ago about them like getting into a run-in at a club and like a shoe was thrown. It was probably a red bottom. Like
A shoe?
those things
Louis
hurt.
Vuitton.
Got the sharp heel on that. So, what do you guys think? Cardi B, Nicki Minaj.
I don't really. Earlier, I was thinking Cardi because she's younger, but then I think like Nicki Minaj has been like in the game long enough, but that might make her soft. I don't really know. I'd say Nicki at this point, but if you guys give me some more concrete evidence, I don't know enough about the two of them to really know.
See, I'm going with Cardi here. Mostly because I feel like she's a fighter, man. She was a stripper. Did you guys know that? I don't know if Nicki was a stripper before,
I think I've heard that.
or she, yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they
don't.
I mean,
so, but
I don't know many strippers.
okay, but I know for a fact that Cardi was a stripper, and you know that the strippers, creepy ass dudes at the strip club, they got just like some tactical.
Oh, you
protection,
gotta.
Yeah, but I think just because she has that scrappiness, and then she's married to Offset. I don't know if they were married.
Offset.
I know they have a baby together, and Offset cheated on her.
She just had a baby.
Yeah, she just had a.
Does that affect things?
See, but are we fighting like now?
Shout out Vincent.
Shout out. Vincent.
They're fighting now. That's
Okay.
what I was assuming.
Okay, but I'd still go with Cardi. I feel like she's got the
Okay.
scrappiness. She's got the mother's intuition.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Kyle?
I think that Nicki Minaj is pretty damn thick, and I have a hard time picturing her moving in like a quick fashion.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know about her like agility. Say if they actually were like in a boxing ring, there's no way Nicki Minaj is moving around there getting some punches in. Isn't she short too? So like, I feel like
I don't know.
the reach just isn't there.
I kind of figured that one of you would know and be able to sway, but
I don't know their height stuff. The top of my head.
Okay, so Nicki Minaj is 36.
Damn.
Cardi is 26.
26.
So she's got 10 years on her. Are you gonna take the 10 years of wisdom and knowledge?
or the 10 pounds of ass.
Ass shots.
Let's just put it to
I'm
a
taking
vote.
Cardi.
Maybe? Well, let's put it to a vote. Cardi.
I am in favor of Cardi.
I'll take Nicki Minaj just because I don't know anything about either of them other than that she's older and Nicki Minaj has been around longer.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah. So I guess
I'll add one more thing.
Okay.
Cardi B is lactose intolerant, and the lactose intolerant people are known as fighters.
We could
in the
throw,
bathroom.
she could splash milk. She could make it dirty. Not throwing sand in her eyes. Throw a fucking powdered milk in her face.
See, I'm not seeing these
Shit.
fights as like a no holds bars like street fight. I'm thinking like there's at least a ref to make sure no one gets killed. You know, like they don't have boxing gloves. It's bare fist, but they're like there's somebody there to make sure nobody dies. So
Okay.
that's why.
Just so you guys know, we're at like 16:30.
All right.
Okay.
So let's move on to the third one here. Thomas, why don't you introduce this theme?
Okay,
here?
so we don't back either of these guys. They're scumbags. They've been proven to be scumbags, but Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein.
Interesting.
Logan.
So this is a hard one for me because I was a big Cosby guy growing up. I am not so much anymore. You know, I respect what he did fucking 30 years ago, but I'm not a fan these days. I would, in a fight, take Harvey Weinstein. He's kind of fat as shit and a scumbag. I can't make this clear enough. I don't like them. But Bill Cosby is like older than dirt, so I would have to take the guy who's not 90 years old.
I just looked it up. Harvey Weinstein, 66 years old. Bill Cosby, 81 years old.
Yeah, 81. I could like
81 is
sneeze on
old.
him and he'd fall and break a hip. So.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was typing this out, I really thought that Bill Cosby was younger, but I'm gonna have to go with you, Harvey Weinstein, on this one. I mean, he's a big dude, so
If Bill Cosby could bring some pudding pops into the ring, it might be even. He could sharpen them and like use them as like kind of a weapon. But I don't know.
I was just gonna. No, I don't want to make that joke. Yeah, fuck both these guys. Harvey Weinstein's gonna win.
yeah.
Yeah, so we all
So,
in agreement.
we all
Harvey
agree on this
Weinstein?
one, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Harvey
Next
Weinstein.
segment.
Let's move on. So that was a great segment, Thomas. I do appreciate you bringing that one in here.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like one of those random ones that we just like bring up from time to time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Do we want to move on to food here? Kyle, you want to do your?
Yeah, I'll hop in with my weekly segment here. So, a weekly recurring segment that I want to have is the Trader Joe's food item of the week. This week, we have the green salsa burritos. Salsa verde, very delicious. Trader Joe's also sells their own salsa verde. Very tasty. You know, pop them in the oven, 450 degrees. First, you wrap them in tin foil for 10 minutes. Then you take them out of the tin foil, back in the oven for another 15 minutes. Nice and hot on the inside, crispy on the outside. Delicious. All right. Other food item we have. Beaver Hut. I can smell that. Oh, yeah.
Let's just give a quick introduction to Beaver Hut. Beaver Hut, a local college food joint, famously known for their $2 burgers.
Singles, baby.
The singles, no cheese.
No cheese.
What's up?
Because the cheese is 75 cents?
I don't know.
I
I've
believe
never-
It's like
it's
50 or it's like
50 or
75
75
cents. Not
cents
worth
a
it.
slice.
That is
That's a crime.
it's a little. They're trying to trick you with the cheese because everyone who wants a hamburger. What is this? 1942? No, you want a cheeseburger. You want a real American cheeseburger.
Yep.
So they try and trick you into it. But what Kyle and you probably too, I don't know, have found is if you buy the hamburger, you buy your own cheese, you put it on there, way cheaper, and it's probably better quality cheese, and it's great. We go there at least once a week. It's called Beaver Hut because we go to Oregon State and the mascot is beavers. But that's just a little background. It's a little background.
All sorts of stuff you can dress it up with, too. I know in the past we've done pepperoncinis,
Eggs.
eggs on there. Last week I made some grilled onions, sauteed mushrooms, threw that on there. So
I put Parmesan cheese on there.
Ooh,
That's
really
nice.
good. Just as a preface, the burger comes with lettuce, tomato, onion. There's special sauce.
There's 2 pickles.
2 pickles. So it's like for $2, it's a good value. Usually we'll get these like as a late night snack. You're like, we're on the way home. We just stop by, we pop in, say what's up. It's usually pop in. You get a $2 burger, come home, throw some cheese on it.
I'm mixing this on the fly. I'll like take a sip and be like,
Too
not enough Red Bull, not enough vodka. I'm shaking it up.
How's it now? Still smells
It's like too much Red Bull now. I'll stick with it for a little while. I don't have that much Red Bull or vodka left for that matter. Fuck, I might just, continue talking about Beaver Hut.
Yeah, so usually the Beaver Hut is fueled via some kind of alcohol, as we can see with Logan with the Smirnoff. We might go to Beaver Hut tonight, if I'm being honest. Yeah, but it's Beaver Hut. I wouldn't say it's the cleanest place, but it's so consistent. I think that's what people love about like these fast food chains like McDonald's, Wendy's, not save your face. Wendy's, Burger King is the consistency that every time you go there, you're gonna get the same thing the way you like it.
Yeah, speaking of lack of cleanliness, I think the nasty grills are what like help add to all the flavor.
Yeah.
So
add the flavor.
And
into it.
something that adds on to it is like, if you show up and it's not busy, the people are like outside smoking cigarettes or
Smoking
like
cigs. Get
in,
nice
like-
smoky flavor.
like,
in the
nice
meat.
smoky
That's
flavor.
what really,
And-
and the smoke suffocates the bacteria to really make it nice and clean.
nothing like some carcinogens with that $2 Beaver Hut burger. And like, it's not like the restaurant itself is that dirty, but like the employees are in like sweats. They obviously are like they're there.
They don't
and,
care
like,
about how your day's going.
Yeah,
Right.
It's not like Dutch Bros where you pull up and they're fucking like
Welcome
they're
to
on,
Dutch.
They like,
they're, like,
have
on
they have a
coke.
rule book of like how you're supposed to act, and it's like, oh fuck, okay, I gotta be.
It's 4 a.m. They
Interesting.
just rail the line of coke and they're just like, what can I get you? Do you want this? It's not. Yeah, it's just pretty much you show up, you get your food, you don't say shit, you go home.
It's
There's
a nice college restaurant.
Yeah, no tables, no
No
bathrooms.
table. There's an outdoor table, but
There's an outdoor
you don't
table,
need
but-
outdoors.
Yeah.
All right, so we got about 8 minutes to the 30-minute mark. Why don't we get to the topics that we really want to talk about? Do you have anything that you want to talk about this little announcement this week we had out of Japan?
Yes, absolutely. As you can see by my outfit, wearing this in celebration. It's a little far away, but there's a shit ton of Pokemon on this.
How many
sweater.
Pokemon are on there?
I have no idea.
It's probably more than the original 150.
That's true.
What?
You can kind of see where the pattern repeats here. But anyways, This week they announced Generation 8, the new coming Pokemon generation that will release at the end of this year. There was like a 7-minute Nintendo Direct. Woke up at 6 a.m. for that shit because I love me some Pokemon. They announced the starters. I believe it's Scorbunny, Grookey, and Sottle. Hope I got those right. Right now it's looking between Grookey and Sottle for me, if anyone gives a shit.
I
But,
do. They probably don't.
Yeah, did you end up getting a chance to watch
I didn't watch the direct, but I saw basically all the info necessary. I don't need to see a guy stand there and speak in a language I don't understand for 7 minutes. I don't know if that's even how the direct went, but that's how they usually go.
There's a translator.
That's how but the translator for the Nintendo Switch conference with the Splatoon 2 guy was not great, so I just lost all trust in the Nintendo
All the
translator.
translators.
I'm excited. I think I might actually. The last one I picked up was X and Y. Before that, it was Diamond and Pearl. So I usually pick up every few. But the fact that it's a main series Switch
On the
game,
Switch.
I don't give a shit about the 3DS. If they could just abandon that, the Switch is a nice combo platform. It's like anything I could want, I want to play on the Switch. There was like rumors that Microsoft might bring some of their indie exclusives like Cuphead to the Switch. That would be perfect.
Wow.
If they could track my gamer score on the Switch on those games, I would just play them on the Switch. Because as a form factor, I just love it.
Fair points. One other thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if we're going to have a full-on music segment this time, but I wanted to say shout out to Offset. We spoke about you earlier, talked a little bit of shit about you, but I really like your new album. The first couple songs on there, definitely really good. I appreciate the more personal side. Normally from the Migos, you get braggadocious lyrics about women and drugs and money and that kind of thing, but he talks about
It's a little more personal.
how he wasn't there for his child when
Father for his name of the album, so it kind of ties into that.
He has 4 kids.
Yeah, the first
Oh
one.
my
you
God,
had
is
was
it
17.
Philip Rivers?
All right. Well.
All right. Well,
sorry, offset.
Do we want to move on to something?
Sword and Shield is the name of the Pokemon game.
Oh yeah,
we're
nice,
excited.
yeah.
Thomas doesn't give a shit, but maybe
I'm
he will.
not- I mean, as an Asian American, I should be into Pokemon, but my parents never really got me into it. I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
That is really sad.
Yeah.
So let's move on. I just wanted to. As we've been making these podcasts, I've been trying to kind of learn a few Adobe applications that might be required for this. Like Premiere. I've used Premiere a lot in the past, so I'm like a little bit more familiar with like video editing. It comes a little bit easier to me. But I also I have acquired Photoshop and Illustrator and After Effects. I'll probably not use After Effects very much. Illustrator's hard as shit. I don't really want to talk about it. It's still upsetting to me. It's like a whole different world. But Photoshop, I've been working on, and it's interesting. It's such a powerful tool, but it's so hard. I have this buddy named Wes, shout out to him, who does graphic design for a living, and he made, just out of the blue, a Photoshop of me on Thanos from the Avengers,
which we will show.
Yeah, I'll throw it up there right at the snap because that's very appropriate.
Snap. That snap was probably way too loud. I apologize.
It was a very dope picture. It was very well done. Yeah. Logan went out and found the high-res
I had to hound our friend for a high-res original version of my face. I'm so sorry. I'm burping all over the place. And he photoshopped it, and it is just fantastic. And I wish I could ever get on that level. Maybe I will. Probably not. He went to school for it. But it's a really cool tool, and this photo just blew me out of the water, and that's really all I have to say about that. Shout out, Wes.
Yeah, I just want to say that like people in like graphic design doing all this technical stuff, like you said he did it in 20 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
It
it took me 10 minutes to Photoshop the Twitch VIP icon. It's a little gem onto the original photo he made, which is basically all I had to do was crop it out and drag it onto the photo. It took me like 7 to 10 minutes, something like that. So it's just, it's embarrassing really, but no big deal. No big deal. So let's see here. We have about 4 minutes left, 3 minutes. There's 2 topics here that we have. Do you have something specific you want to talk about?
You guys want to talk about AirPods really quick? I just want to throw this in there. I think we
could talk about AirPods. I kind of want to work the Galaxy Buds into the conversation.
Yeah. Let's piggyback off that then. So the other day, Logan and I are biking to class. As we mentioned, we're college students. And then he turns to me and he goes, AirPods are everywhere. Like they're taking over.
They're everywhere.
In the gym, like I feel like every 1 out of 3 at least people in the gym.
At least?
You think? At least? 1 out of 3? More than 1 out of 3?
That's pretty high.
That's pretty fucking high.
I feel like it's... Yeah, but 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4...
There's a lot of AirPods.
There's a lot of AirPods around.
There's a lot of kids, and they're like, it would give me a lot of clout wearing the same headphones as every other kid on campus. Mm-hmm. Now, I would like to point out, I owned AirPods. I lost them. I owned AirPods.
Now someone else owns those AirPods. Yeah,
or a theater seat in Albany owns those AirPods. I owned them before a lot of people, so I was kind of on the train early-ish.
Not to say he was a pioneer or anything, but he was
not day one. Not day one, but I bought them, I want to say, like 3 months after they came. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I bought them, and I have an Android phone, and they were still fantastic. They don't have the bullshit like auto pair. It's not bullshit. It's a cool feature. I didn't have that, but despite that, they were still probably the best truly wireless earbuds on the market for an Android user. Until the Galaxy Buds. They Samsung announced these buds, and they just seem like AirPods, but, a little bit better battery life, wireless charge. They seem like they're just like, AirPods are successful. We want to make our version, and it seems like whether you buy the AirPods or the Galaxy Buds, you can't go wrong. They both seem like great products. I know the AirPods are a great product. The Galaxy Buds are getting great reviews. I just think that is kind of the future in terms of for casual people. Like audiophiles are still going to want the inline. They're going to want the headphones over ear, all this shit.
Yeah, they're going to want like the Sennheiser, all that.
Yeah.
But what headphones do you rock, Kyle? Are you an AirPod guy?
I have some Bose. I don't know what they're called, but they have like the thick, squishy plastic things on the in-ear because all the like standard Apple headphones don't stay in my ears.
So AirPods wouldn't work for you?
I have some misshapen action going on in there.
Oh, that's weird. I would not have thought.
Yeah, with that big ass head, you'd think that my ears would be normal, but and then my headphones that I have a pair of Sennheisers.
This guy.
I don't know
This guy.
what they are
Audio.
off the top of my head. But
And
they're
now,
pretty nice.
just to kind of give another example about you as an audiophile,
Yeah.
what streaming service do you subscribe to?
I subscribe to Tidal for 2 reasons. Primarily to support multiple reasons. Support Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
I primarily listen to hip hop. It's the premier platform for hip hop music, and they also have a higher bit rate. They offer a higher bit rate streaming service, so you can actually listen to music in supposedly a higher quality. And it is noticeable on the right pair of headphones.
Next to me, Jay-Z is lazy.
Shout out Krispy Kreme.
Shout out Krispy Kreme. What headphones you rocking? I know you got like a Go pair and like a nice in home library pair.
So my to-go pair, as Logan mentioned, it's like my gym buds. I think I just bought them off
nice.
Amazon. I just went off the reviews, if I'm being honest. I'm a slave. I think they're the Soundpeats like Q30. They're actually really good. I mean, decent sound quality. They fit in my ears well. Like 8 hours of battery life, which is choice. Like I only have to charge.
That's pretty
them,
solid.
Yeah, every 3-4 days.
How they charging? What's the port there? Is that micro
It's
USB?
Yeah, just micro USB.
That's that's not terrible. That's not terrible.
Should be USB-C.
Should be USB-C, but I don't expect that.
But I mean, they've lasted me over.
Shout out USB-C.
I mean, they've lasted me over 2 years, and I do like everything with them. Like I'll take them on hikes. I take them in the sauna. So like I abuse these guys. My like sound and like working headphones would be my Bose QC35s. Great pair. They're a little bit more pricey, but they have the ANC, and I just really like them. They're just like whenever I'm like on campus and I need to like go into a little corner, turn on the ANC to high, and just,
I tried
some
them.
music.
The noise cancellation is very impressive. I've never actually tried a pair of noise cancellation earphones because all I've ever tried is in-ear stuff, and it was like I was like, this is what you guys are paying for? This is fucking worth it, you know? It's like obviously way more expensive than earbuds, but it's like I think it's worth it. I think it's super dope.
Yeah, I think it's interesting within the next couple of years to see what they might develop, because I know that Microsoft has been working on their own, and then Sony has a really good pair too.
Microsoft,
Sony, like
Surface.
they're big players, and they're adding like these new implements where like
can you
can
you
mute
wire
it.
those in, or is it just
you can wire them in if they run it. It's a 20-hour life, I think, on a full charge, and it has quick charging too, even though it's only micro USB. I wish it was USB-C, but I mean I can get like 10 hours of playtime on a 5-minute charge, which is like pretty decent.
That's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
so
solid.
It'll last me the whole day. I don't think I've ever had an instance where they died when I needed them. But they do have the plugin which can work when they're dead, but you can't use the ANC with the wired part. So I mean, but that's a nice feature.
All right. Well, we're about out of time here. We're a little bit over time. I use the headphones that came in the box with my Galaxy. My Google Pixel 3 XL. They're like the USB-C version of the Pixel Buds. They're actually pretty nice. They've got like this little hook on it that you can fit into your like little thing.
That's what I was trying to describe.
Which is like they're like the best fitting headphones that I've ever had. They're a little bit glitchy. You know, they're not like fantastic sounding, and it's a wire, so I'm always in the gym like letting it untangle itself.
Putting it through your
But
shirt.
put it through my shirt to get a little extra cordage. You know, I can move more freely. They're pretty good fitting, especially. But yeah, that's what I'm working with. I'm hoping to buy a pair of Galaxy Buds here soon. They are sold out.
I've never tried the sound quality on your buds, but what would you rate it? I mean, I know you've had the AirPods and
I think the sound quality is probably on par with the AirPods. Granted, they're over wire, so that probably bumps it up a little bit. But they're only $30, so I feel like the sound quality is probably similar to the AirPods.
One final note on price before we wrap things up here. You mentioned that like Thomas's headphones were significantly more expensive. These AirPods and like super high end ones, talking 120, 150, depends on Samsung, Apple. A lot of the Bose like lower end things with noise canceling, you're only talking like $250. There's not a huge price.
Yeah, it's not like $1,000. We should have clarified.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so expensive. it's like not that much more than that.
But
you're paying for the convenience and the brand.
The Bose are I think you get them like $270, and the AirPods are $160 at the time of recording this, I believe. So I think something that's come up a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, you have AirPods, you're rich," but I think
they can't afford the wire. That's
they can't afford the wire, but yeah.
All right, well, that sound probably signals that we have a
Out of
good length of podcast. Out of time. We're about 35 since I started this clock, which means the video is probably around 35. I guess thanks for watching. We will hopefully see you guys next week, unless we are just so horribly dissatisfied with the product that we cancel the show immediately. But I think this went pretty well.
Absolutely. This has been episode 1. It's March 1st, by the way. Thank you for watching.
Right.
And
the Dojo podcast. I don't know if we
Dojo
said that.
podcast.
We probably did. Thanks for watching or listening.